The penthouse was always immaculate, not a speck of dust on the marble counters, not a single wrinkle in the linen drapes. Elena took pride in that. For 2 years, she had moved through Daniel Hartwell's luxurious world like a ghost, silent and unseen. She knew his routines, the way he preferred his coffee, black, no sugar, the exact angle he liked his newspapers folded, the quiet frustration in his sigh when his ex-wife's name flashed on his phone. But he had never truly seen her. Until the storm. That night, rain lashed against the floor-to-ceiling windows. The city lights below blurred into streaks of gold. Elena was just finishing up, smoothing the last crease from the duvet in the master bedroom, when the elevator chimed. Unusual. Daniel never came home this late. The moment the doors slid open, she knew something was wrong. Daniel stumbled forward, his usually crisp suit rumpled, his tie loose. His dark hair was damp, not just from the rain, his forehead gleamed with sweat, his eyes glassy. Drunk. Elena had never seen him like this. Mr. Hartwell. She rushed forward, catching his arm as he swayed. He blinked at her, as if surprised she existed. Elena. His voice was rough, unfamiliar. He never said her name like that, slow, deliberate, like he was tasting it. She guided him to the sofa, her fingers brushing against the damp fabric of his jacket. Let me get you some coffee. He caught her wrist before she could pull away. His grip wasn't harsh, but it was firm. Warm. Don't. A pause. Just, sit. Elena hesitated. This wasn't part of the routine. But the rawness in his voice made her obey. For a long moment, silence stretched between them, broken only by the drumming rain. Then, without warning, Daniel exhaled, running a hand through his hair. She's getting married. Elena didn't need to ask who. His ex-wife's name was a shadow in this house, lingering in the empty wine glasses she'd left behind, in the way Daniel's jaw tightened whenever her Instagram notifications lit up his phone. I'm sorry, Elena said softly. Daniel laughed, a hollow sound. Don't be. I should have seen it coming. His gaze flicked to her, sharp despite the alcohol. You're always here. You see things. Did you know? The question startled her. She shook her head. I don't pay attention to your personal life, Mr. Hartwell. Daniel, he corrected, his voice low. Call me Daniel. A beat of silence. Then, Elena nodded. When she stood to make the coffee anyway, his fingers brushed against hers as he reached for the cup. A spark, fleeting but electric. Their eyes met, his dark, searching, hers wide, uncertain. And just like that, the invisible line between them trembled. Elena pulled away first, retreating to the kitchen with her pulse hammering in her throat. She was the housekeeper. He was her employer. This couldn't happen. But as she glanced back at him, slumped on the sofa, his guard finally down, she wondered if it already had. The next morning, the penthouse was eerily quiet. Sunlight streamed through the windows, casting long, accusing shadows across the marble floors. Elena moved through her routine with mechanical precision, polishing silverware, fluffing cushions, but her thoughts kept circling back to the way Daniel had looked at her last night. The way he'd said her name. She was scrubbing a stubborn coffee stain from the counter when the elevator chimed. Her spine stiffened. Daniel stepped out, crisp in a navy suit, his usual composed self. No trace of last night's vulnerability remained, except for the way his gaze immediately found her. Elena. His voice was steady now, but there was something beneath it. A hesitation. She wiped her hands on her apron. Mr. Hartwell. Coffee. A pause. Then, quietly, Daniel. Her fingers tightened around the dish rag. Daniel, she repeated, testing the weight of it. He didn't smile, but something in his expression softened. Black. No sugar. Asterisk as if I didn't know. Asterisk. She turned to the espresso machine, hyper-aware of his presence behind her, the faint scent of his cologne, the quiet tap of his Oxfords against the tile. You left before I woke up, he said. The accusation in his tone made her pulse jump. I had work to do. A beat of silence. Then, closer now, thank you. For last night. Her breath hitched as his reflection appeared beside hers in the polished chrome of the machine. Close. Too close. It's my job, she lied. Is it? His voice dropped. Because I don't pay you to listen to my drunken rambling. The espresso machine hissed. Elena focused on pouring the coffee, her hands unnaturally steady. When she turned, he was right there, close enough that she had to tilt her head up to meet his eyes. Their fingers brushed as she handed him the cup. This time, neither of them pulled away. Days blurred. Daniel started coming home earlier. He'd linger in the kitchen while she cooked, asking about her day in a way that felt less like politeness and more like hunger. Once, he brought her a book, *Wuthering Heights*, its spine cracked with use. You mentioned liking classics, he'd said, as if her offhand comment months ago was something worth remembering. Then came the storm. Elena hated thunderstorms. Always had. When the first crack of lightning split the sky, she dropped the vase she was polishing. It shattered against the floor just as the power went out. She gasped, frozen in the sudden darkness. Elena. Daniel's voice came from the study, followed by quick footsteps. A flashlight beam cut through the black. Her voice shook. I'm fine. Another lightning flash illuminated his frown. You're trembling. Before she could protest, his arms were around her, pulling her against the solid warmth of his chest. She stiffened, then melted, her face buried in his shirt. His heartbeat thundered under her ear, steady and sure. You're safe, he murmured into her hair. And in that moment, she believed him. When the lights flickered back on, they didn't move. Elena's hands fisted in his shirt. Daniel's breath ghosted over her temple. Somewhere in the distance, the elevator pinged. They sprang apart just as the housekeeper's replacement, her replacement, stepped into the foyer, her bright Mr. Hartwell. Slicing through the charged silence. Daniel's jaw tightened. Elena's stomach dropped. The unspoken question hung between them. What are we doing? And worse, what happens now? The new housekeeper, Lila, with her too bright smile and eager eyes, stayed for exactly 37 minutes. Elena counted. Daniel dismissed her with a curt, "We'll call you," before the elevator doors even closed. The silence that followed was thick enough to choke on. Elena busied herself sweeping up the shattered vase, her hands trembling only slightly. She could feel Daniel's gaze burning into her back. Elena. She didn't turn. You should hire her. She seemed competent. A bitter laugh. That's not why you're upset. The broom clattered to the floor. Elena whirled, her pulse roaring in her ears. Then tell me why I am upset. Daniel. Since you clearly know everything. He crossed the distance between them in 3 strides, his voice low and rough. Because you felt it too. That night. Just now. Every damn time I look at you. Her breath caught. The truth of it was a live wire between them. Daniel reached out, tucking a loose strand of hair behind her ear. His thumb lingered against her cheekbone. Tell me to stop, he whispered. She should have. God knows she should have. But the words died in her throat when his lips brushed hers. Soft at first, then desperate, like he was drowning and she was air. Elena melted into him, her fingers twisting in his shirt. The world narrowed to the heat of his mouth, the way his hand slid down her waist to pull her flush against him. It was reckless. It was inevitable. When they finally broke apart, Daniel rested his forehead against hers. Stay. One word. One impossible word. Elena pulled back just enough to see his face, the raw need in his eyes, the faint tremble in his jaw. This wasn't just lust. This was something deeper, something terrifying. I can't, she breathed. His grip tightened. Why? Because you'll wake up tomorrow and remember I'm just the help. The words tasted like ash. And I'll remember you're the man who pays my rent. Daniel flinched as if struck. For a heartbeat, she thought she'd finally broken whatever spell they were under. Then he cupped her face, his voice breaking. You think I care about any of that right now? Lightning flashed outside, casting his face in sharp relief, all stubborn angles and unshaken certainty. Elena's resolve crumbled. The bedroom door clicked shut behind them. Morning light crept through the blinds, painting gold stripes across tangled sheets. Elena woke to the weight of Daniel's arm draped over her waist, his breath warm against her bare shoulder. For one suspended moment, she let herself pretend this was real, that she belonged here, in this bed, in his life. Then reality crashed down. She slipped from his grasp, wincing as the floor chilled her feet. Her clothes lay scattered where they'd fallen last night, her sensible black dress, his undone tie. She dressed quickly, fingers fumbling on buttons. Running away already. Daniel's sleep-rough voice sent a shiver down her spine. She turned to find him propped on one elbow, sheets pooling at his waist, watching her with an intensity that made her skin prickle. "I'm not running," she lied, clutching her shoes to her chest. We should be smart about this." He sat up, the mattress dipping. "Smart," he repeated flatly. "You know what they'll say." She forced herself to meet his gaze. The rich boss and his desperate housekeeper. It's a cliché, Daniel. A muscle jumped in his jaw. He crossed the room in 3 strides, stopping just inches away. When he cupped her face, his thumb brushed the corner of her mouth, gentle, possessive. "Let them talk." Her breath hitched. "It's not that simple." "It could be." His other hand found hers, lacing their fingers together. "Quit. Let me take you somewhere, anywhere. No more hiding." The offer hung between them, glittering and dangerous. Elena imagined it, waking up like this every morning, no more stolen glances or hushed conversations. Just them. Then she pictured the raised eyebrows, the whispered assumptions. The way her mother's face would crumple when she heard. She pulled back. "I need time." Daniel's hands fell to his sides. For the first time since she'd met him, he looked uncertain. "How much?" The elevator dinged in the distance, the weekday housekeeping staff arriving. Elena stepped back, the moment fracturing. "I don't know." She was halfway to the service stairs when he called after her, voice raw, "Elena." She turned. Daniel stood framed in the doorway, silhouetted by morning light, utterly exposed. "This isn't nothing." Her throat tightened. She knew, God, she knew. But all she could manage was a whisper, "I'll call you." The stairwell door clicked shut behind her. Epilogue. 1 week later. The envelope arrived at noon. Inside, a single key and an address scribbled in familiar handwriting. No demands. No promises. Just an open door. Elena traced the sharp edges of the key, her pulse fluttering. Somewhere across the city, Daniel was waiting. The choice, finally, was hers.